It is a lovely example with 55,000 miles. And if you do go there, give us a shout out so we can keep on reviewing these cars. Let's get into the video. So this MX5 comes with a 1.8, 146 horsepower, 5-speed manual, gearbox with it. Overall, nice car, nice engine. Maybe lacks a little bit of character, but it's very, very reliable. Now I'm sure you've all seen an MX5 before and you've heard about an MX5 before. This little nippy Roadster's known around the world, has been a great, great driver's car. Having the manual, having the rear wheel drive, front engined, 50-50 weight distribution. So let's go find out how good that really is. Getting in this, I'd say a little bit cramped cabin, but this is what you're looking for. This is the best way to go. This one is nicely specced out with leather seats, which I think is a must on this. Heated seats for those cold mornings. Air conditioning, which is quite rare on an MX5, which is good for those extremely hot summer road trips maybe. As well as the radio, your normal plethora of dials. But overall, it's rather simple in here, but that's what you came for when you bought an MX5. Nice and easy to start. No start-stop buttons here. Too old for that. Anyway, let's put some side lights on, safety first. And away we go. The first thing you'll notice when jumping in and driving one of these MX5s, and one of our friends also noticed when he bought one of these MX5s, is they are definitely cramped inside. Now, I'm not a tall person, only about 5'11", so for me, I can fit about, you know, but I still don't find it comfortable. I still don't find it comfortable. After a long trip, it does get a little bit uncomfortable. And especially if you're tall, one of my friends had an MX5 and he had to lower the seat. Well, Tom had an MX5. He had to lower the seat. I guess because he's over 6 foot. So, just something you have to bear in mind, because not a lot of space there. This is the MX5's natural habitat on B roads where this car performs best. And the reason you'll find that is because overall the handling of this car is very good. It's very good. It can handle anything you're going to throw at it. Being so light, you know, there's not a lot of mass to take round a corner. So going around a corner like this, you know, a tight corner, not too difficult. Very well balanced, 50-50. Approaching the limit, I'd say things get a little bit more, it's not so happy on the limit, this car, and I'd say that's just generally down to the soft nature of the car. It's actually quite a soft car, quite supple, which is quite good on a day-to-day basis, and very good for English B roads, which are riddled with potholes. Although the engine doesn't sound the best, it is a great engine to heel and toe, to rev match, because it is very responsive. So changing down a gear, nice and smooth, quite easy to make it very smooth and easy to do in a corner, especially if you want to start doing heel and toe as well. It's a great car to learn all the sort of sporting driving techniques with. For a lot of people, it won't bother them. But for me, if you compare the engine to a sporty Honda engine, it's a Honda engine is much more keen to rev out, to rev up to the red line. With this car, it could be just a sound thing, but it just doesn't seem to be so happy to do the high revs as such. Obviously it doesn't have as high red line as a Honda, maybe that being part of it, and it doesn't have obviously full VTEC. I think it only has timing. That engine just doesn't give you that character, the spirit that you'd like in a Roadster. But the benefit of that is it's a very reliable car. It's a very reliable car. You don't have to do much maintenance. It's really good on fuel. 35 to the gallon is very good for a Roadster, or for many Roadsters you'll get out there. And being so light, it's still quick enough. We're still around 8 seconds to 60 miles an hour, which is more than enough on a daily basis. And if you're going to bash around some B roads, you don't really want to be going much more than 60 miles an hour on some of those corners. So the heart of any Roadster is its competence around a B road. and this is where the MX5 shines. The chassis overall is very good and it handles very well. The steering being sharp and responsive means you get a nice lot of feedback from the road, and the ride isn't too jolty or hard, meaning with the suspension being so soft. This chassis in the car is really refreshing because it's not about numbers on a page. It's not about Nürburgring times. When you're driving at the speed limit in this car around a B road, it is great fun, and that's exactly what Mazda tried to design this car to do. Is when you're driving on the road, it's perfect. It's nice, it's soft still, so it's still comfortable, yet it's really fun to chuck around the bends and approach that limit without going crazy, which is perfect for the road because you don't want to be going too fast on the road. That's why, really, people love these cars so much, because when you are on the road, you're having fun. That being said, if you're a driver that is a little bit more spirited and really cares about getting the most out of a car and what a car is actually capable of, I'd possibly go as far as to say this car is probably not for you, because that chassis is made to be having fun at the speed limit. And if you're going to go to a track, or if you're going to be going a bit past that, then the car, that limit's very low. And modern day cars, and furthermore upgraded cars, when you've got some of the suspension and stuff sorted out, it's going to be a much more capable car on the track. And that's why so many people modify these cars to make them that more capable. But the chassis itself is really well designed and really made to be well suited to the road and have fun on the road, but it's easily modifiable to become a really fun car, and sporty as well. See, this thing just so fun on the roads, going around the corners at normal speeds. Just, you can feel a lot going on. That's exactly what it was designed for, and you can really feel it. Let's move over to Cameron and tell you about the engine.
So this car has a 1.8 litre engine, which is nothing really special in the grand scheme of things, but for an MX5 is pretty much all you need. Double overhead cam, 16 valve, pretty standard early 2000s engine, and there isn't really anything too special about it. But what it does do well is it allows you to drive exactly how this car was designed, just sitting in third, fourth gear, going around the B roads at a nice leisurely, 50 mile an hour, give or take. That is really what ultimately this is designed for. As we said, it's pretty much a standard 1.8 litre engine. So if you're looking for anything that crazy, this isn't that car. But for going around and doing what it's designed to do, this does it very well. When they designed this, they obviously knew exactly the type of car that they wanted, and they suited the engine with that perfectly. We've already mentioned that what it does really well is it goes to the speed limit, and then you can sort of drive it at the speed limit at a nice limit of what the car's doing, and this gearbox helps along with that so well. You can just sit along in fourth or fifth gear at around 40-50 mile an hour, or a little bit more if you're comfortable, and it just goes around the corners so nicely. When you come out the corners, you have that little bit of torque, a little bit of gearing to help you, and all of this ends up with a really nice combination. What it does lack is a little bit of top end, a little bit of general power, but the torque in that mid-range is very good and complements the driving style that you have to do with this car very well. Another good point of this car is the fact that it's just reliable. It's reliable fun. You'll just always do what you need to do, and that's about it. If you start putting all these modifications onto it, it could potentially become more unreliable. So you do have to weigh these things up when you're going to decide what you want to do with the car. This particular MX5 comes with the hard top roof. This was an option, but not all come with it. It does have the soft top as well, but this hard top is removable. But for the winter months like we are in now, this is really good. Obviously, being a convertible is not the best in the winter months, but this sort of gives you the best of both worlds. It's not completely airtight, but this makes it really nice to drive, and it sort of adds a little bit to the usability of this car. So in summary, what is this car all about? Well, it is a sporty car that you can use on a daily basis, and you're not going to get yourself in too much trouble because its overall limit is fairly low. But it is a very fun car, and if you want something like this, a two-seater little roadster you can have a lot of fun in, this is definitely an option for you. So if an MX5 is up your street, obviously this one right now is available at Harrington's of Fulham, so do go and check out if you want. But we would recommend getting one, if not this particular car, but one similar to this that has, you know, the more luxury options with the AC and the leather seats, and obviously the Arctic version on this particular car. But if you did enjoy this video, we thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and check this car out at Harrington's of Fulham if you want it. But until the next video, we'll see you soon.